Welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today, first thing for the new year, is Vasil Shevchenko, former Minister of Transportation, Ukraine. Vasil, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Hello, my friends. Nice to hear you. Nice to see.
Likewise. You know, Vasil, one of the things that recently that crossed my mind is that President Zelensky could be going through some mental torture now. The reason for is that we recognized recently that U.S. becoming more engaged in other external wars. Most recently, it was bombs dropping in Yemen. It seems that Iran indirectly are involved in attacks upon America's warships and so forth, and they're attacking other vessels within the Red Sea. With all this going on with Israel and Hamas, Gaza Strip at war, and do you think that right now America's support is somewhat fading for Zelensky? And if so, how is the balance of the world supporting Ukraine right now?
Uh, Thank you. To be honest, it's quite difficult question to answer for some minutes, but I will try to
Yes.
do. Yes. First of all, I'd say that Ukraine is waging really cruel, full-scale war. It's only war in the world full scale. And we know that it's challenge for Ukraine. We have no choice. We will fight. Will we have support or will not have support? Because for us, it's existential war. And if we lose, we will see the same we saw and world society could see at the occupied territory. And then world society must understand that all these questions are on the stake. Big battle between acts of evil, whereas Russia, Iran, North Korea, and they have started waging war just to demonstrate that they are powerful. And nevertheless, you know that first 3 or 4 months, Ukraine was waging war without any support because our partners and our neighbors were watching it. Our war and didn't know who and how fast Russia could win. But it appeared that we are able to deter them and to make them to withdraw their troops from bigger part of Ukraine. And we know that now under Russia's occupation is 17% Ukraine's territory. And we tried to attack and to wage war and managed, Ukraine forces managed to liberate only 10, sometimes 15% because of tough mining and higher level of funding Russia Federation in this war. And they decided to draft 500,000 people officially, but unofficially, except mercenaries they drafted more, and now we know that at the Ukraine's territory is about 500,000 Russia soldiers, and they are waging war. For example, today we had missile attack from different type of missiles. We were bombing aeroballistic missiles, ballistic missiles, drones, and cruise missiles, and missiles from aircraft, different. And we managed to intercept only 8, and another were under influence counter offensive measures in electronic sphere. And to be honest, it demonstrates that we are ready to work, and we are ready to do our best to defend our country and to demonstrate that we are together. But maybe a few months ago we faced another problem. First of all, it's our partners from the Poland side and from Slovakia side and Hungary side. Our routes were blocked because of so-called opportunity Ukraine to transport agricultural business goods to these countries. But we know that it was done by Russia Federation, who's spending a lot of money for propaganda around the world, in Europe and around the world. And because of it, sometimes people can hear wrong information and misleading questions, which demonstrates that Russia decided to fight in media. And now I'd say that this year is main important year for United States because of election campaign in United States. We know that there are different point of view for support for Ukraine and partners, but it's challenge for all of us.
I,
Yeah, and
sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry for crossing you, but I'm glad you touched this point, right? With United States support towards Ukraine, and we are now in the heat of politics for the next general election. But I want to say this, from a geopolitical standpoint, there are active wars going on around us, including Ukraine, Hamas in Israel, and even Yemen in this case, Iran. And there's also wars that raging that we have not even heard about. But right now, Venezuela and Guyana are fighting over territorial. Well, it didn't happen as yet as actually fighting, but there's a lot of raging of war going on to territorial boundaries between Guyana and Venezuela. I think over the Amazon, but I am trying to speak subject in this case to correction. With all this evolution of war in the process, I say that the world is, we are already in a world war, whether we want to believe it or not, whether it's physically in a war or economically speaking in a war. This is happening right now as we speak. What measures you think Ukraine should take right now in being, trying to be more sustainable? I mean, it's like difficult to do this because really they depend on the world's support to fight a superpower like Russia. What preparation you think Zelensky should take just in the event that here in the United States, because the Republicans don't seems to be on the side of supporting the war anymore. Donald Trump, which you know, he's very active in the polls. He's still seen as the number one leader in the polls. And it's a good opportunity that if he did get back into power, which and I hope he don't, that is going to be a lot of problems for the Ukraine because Putin is his buddy. Putin is his idol. What Putin do or what Xi Jinping do in China, he like dictators. He want to be a dictator. That's his aspiration. With a person like that, how best you think Ukraine should brace themselves in this event? That's a tough one, I know.
Thank you. To be honest, all Ukrainians deeply respect every American and every person who have done a lot of Ukraine, because we received a lot of help, a lot of assistance from United States and from Great Britain, from other partners of Ukraine. And we know that there is opportunity that United States will be headed the president whose relation with Russia's president could be close. But I think that it will depend. United States is a competitive country, and I don't think that he will be able to do all he would want. He will follow the opinions, Americans' opinion. And I think that Ukraine's power and all media, United States media and Ukraine media and European media must broadcast current events in Ukraine. Current event, just to understand that we are open for cooperation, we are open for business, common business with United States company who's involved in military sphere, because Ukraine is main battle in the world just to demonstrate advantages in this sphere, just to have opportunity to deter these countries who's against us, who's ready to demonstrate us that we are together, because main idea to make problem. They have done it in for us with European countries, for example. Ukraine's forces with Western support managed to partly defeat Russia's fleet in Black Sea, and now trade routes in Black Sea is under Ukraine's control. And Ukraine's forces control. And we know that we are working and we are existing because we can have opportunity to communicate, to provide trade turnover, and because of it we exist. And we know that our European partners are ready to support us. For example, Ukraine's president visited 3 Baltic countries, Estonia, Lithuania, Litva. He had meeting with top officials, parliamentarians, who have done a lot, maybe according to their GDP. They have helped us a lot in military sphere, in sphere of communication with European Union partners, in the sphere of social security. And I think that it will depend on behavior our partners in European Union, because Ukraine is going to be European Union partners, and now is changing law to be partner. And the same time, yesterday, Ukraine's president met with Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister of Great Britain, and they signed agreement according to according to the security cooperation in security sphere. And they have promised us additional weapon for waging war against Russia. And I think European partners will join to it because our European partners are continuing being under threat from Russia Federation.
Absolutely.
Yes, and to this project, for example, joined Norway. Norway is our partner in Black Sea, together with Great Britain. They are ready to cooperate, and for example. Great Britain government decided to transmit to Ukraine's forces two warships just to operate in Black Sea, but because of prohibition to cross Strait Bosphor, it's in the Mediterranean Sea. And I think it will depend on developed society because we know that Great Seven decision recommended to sign security agreement with Ukraine just to have bilateral effective relations and to support us if it's possible for these countries. It depends on their domestic relations and. Nevertheless, we must understand that against us acts of evil, and I'd like to repeat that it isn't only Russia; it's Iran who's building drones, and they are sending it to eliminate, to kill children in Ukraine, and they are. Trying to make problem in relations in Guyana concerning extracting oil. It's concerning oil extracting, and Venezuela wanted to demonstrate that there are their rights for this question, as far as I know. And all these problems, for example, in Red Sea, connected with tribes who's backed by Iran, and it's they who were attacking trade routes, except Russians. But they made mistake and decided to blow Russia's tankers. And all these problems I encouraged our enemy, and it appeared that they have a lot of weapon. For example, I'd like to say that we were promised, for example, 1 million rounds till the spring, but we have received only more than 300,000. But we know that North Korea promised Russia Federation 1 million, and during a week they provided them 1 million rounds, and they are shelling Ukraine's forces. And the same time, they have strengthened their positions, building concrete fortifications at the battle line, and working with partners concerning ammunition.
Yes. One thing I want to ask you about is recently, I think it was like yesterday or something like that, that a hospital was bombed. And do you think that was by accident? Because we know that Putin developed a strategy where he is taking out his anger and viciousness on civilians. But to actually bomb a hospital that's worse than just being just a humanitarian crime. Do you think this was deliberate or this was by accident?
Uh, this type of war they are waging, they don't care for international law and don't care about how success are they at the battle line. They are waging war against Ukrainians, against civilians. They are bombing hospitals. They are bombing civilians, residential houses. For example, missiles they are using against Ukraine. It's isn't. Guided missiles mostly. It's Soviet type missiles which were produced for air defense, but they now using it to hit cities or residential houses or settlements because it's big targets and they are exactly below there. And they are living ordinary Ukrainians, and every blow and every day we can hear that Ukrainians are being killed by Russians because they don't care, for example, that they are trying to draft Ukrainians from occupied territory to send them to fight against Ukraine's army, to use them cannon fodder against Ukraine's forces. And this type of war has no any limits. There are no any international law for them. And countries which are interested in cooperation with the Russia Federation must understand it because it's type of relations. They are the same in different spheres. And now I'd say that countries who's in tough cooperation with Russia Federation must understand it, and they can do it only thanks Western media, which can demonstrate it, because Russia's media and Russians who's living abroad are listening Russia's propaganda. They are finding a lot of money to demonstrate that they are effective and that they are following international law, but it's wrong way. And they lie through this media for Western society just to look better than them they are here. And because of it, I think that it's important to demonstrate real events, and it's important to cooperate in media sphere and to demonstrate for all society.
Okay. Is there still a large refugee migration out to other nearby countries right now with Ukrainians? What that process is like? Because I know when this war first started, they were moving in millions to like Poland and other nearby countries. Is that still a large scale migration right now?
To be honest, we had 6 million people who fled from Ukraine since the start of war. And them, according to the border officials, 4 million came back. to Ukraine. And now we have a little from 1.5 million to 2 million who's abroad. And now we can see that every month people who's coming back to Ukraine more and more. For example, when we speak about refugees from Ukraine, it's mostly women and children and elderly persons. It isn't man who's able to fight or who's able who can be drafted to military forces. And we really thankful every country who helped our citizens their support and thankful for everyday support for them. But now, thanks Western support, we have anti-missiles and anti-aircraft system. It isn't extremely effective because Russians are using against Ukraine new technology, last technology, hypersonic missiles, so-called aeroballistic missiles, which are being launched from long-range bombers. And it's danger because this system can be intercepted only Patriot system and last generation, Patriot last generation, which allow us to intercept it.
Okay. Well, Vasil, this half hour surely flies pretty fast. We come to the end of our program. Stay safe, be vigilant, and to all those who have been tuning in or living in the 21st century, have a great day.